Welcome, everybody, to El Sancho Live. We are live. Hello to everybody already in the chat. Happy hippie, One Hot Gal. Thank you so much today, One Hot Gal. Great job, by the way, co-hosting today. Booty Ward, I miss you. How have you been, Booty Ward? Tonight, we're going to do a little interesting twist. We're going to have some special panel guests to kind of discuss a story that many may be aware of this, many may not be aware of this. This is a YouTube channel that has caused a little bit of controversy, that has gotten some attention from other YouTube channels. We're going to highlight those channels today. Every 5 minutes, we're going to plug the Court K channel. We're going to plug a couple people who have been doing some great coverage on that, and we're going to pretty much gather a whole bunch of information on this case and let it all out to the public and let you decide what you think and what needs to be done. I want to stress this is a very important matter. The topic of drug addiction is a very serious subject that should not be taken lightly and needs to be talked about and taken seriously. That's the first thing I want to stress tonight. Lemon Kush, hello, welcome. No Name, I miss you. Hopefully all is well with you. No Name. So we're going to go to 2017 first. We're going to start from where this story really got some attention, more attention lately after everything that's been going on with this YouTube channel in the past, year or two. So let's play this video, and then we'll get everybody's thoughts on it. All right, here we go.
And tonight he's speaking out.
23 ABC's Faven Kay is joining us live tonight from his office, where she talked to the doctor this afternoon. Faven?
Good evening, Mike and Jackie. When we spoke with Dr. Edwin Zong this afternoon, he was still in his bloodied clothes. He tells me he has not been asleep. He suffered injuries to his head and was walking around on crutches. Now, he says this was a case of self-defense. He wanted us to interview him right here where it all happened. Now, we want to warn our viewers that what you are about to see may be graphic. Dr. Edwin Zong recounts the moments before he shot and killed a man attempting to rob him.
My G just keep hitting in my head. I thought I'm dead. I was dead.
It happened shortly before 6 p.m. Tuesday at Garden Oasis Medical World on Gordon Street. Zong says he was getting ready to close for the day when a man described as white and in his 40s came inside asking if he takes new patients.
Yeah, I want to tell him to have a seat.
That is when he says the man began cursing and demanding money.
He just all of a sudden attacked. And then he was so fast. I didn't even see like his face or his hand. All I know just I feel like my head could get a hit.
Zong says he was knocked down to the ground and was pleading for the man to stop beating him.
Finally, I pushed it. I jumped out. Then I grabbed my defense weapon from my drawer. And then they just bam, bam.
The man died just a few feet away in a nearby apartment complex. Zong says it wasn't until this morning that he discovered the man had died.
I thought I didn't catch him. I saw Robert as the guy fled. He's so fast.
The clinic was closed today as Dr. Zong tries to pick up the pieces. He says he does not know when or if he will reopen.
Down the road, I'll probably, if I'm capable, I'll probably just work for the big company that has security people. I'm told for this.
Now, BPD confirms that this was an attempted robbery. They also say that Dr. Zong did have a license to carry that gun. He is not facing any criminal charges. Now, as for the man that was shot and killed, the coroner's office has yet to release his name. Live in East Bakersfield, I'm Faven K, 23 ABC.
All right, so there's the story there. That started in 2017. This individual is in charge of he still has an active medical license. We've verified that already. And Garden Oasis is a place in California that is called a medical retreat, is what it's called. That incident, he was cleared of any wrongdoing. Hold on a sec. I have a panel guest, Liberty Bird. Welcome to the panel.
What's up, buddy?
I don't know if you caught that first part, but I want to now plug the second part of where this story really picks up. This is the Nick Crowley. Every 5 minutes, I'm going to be plugging Nick. I have contacted Nick. I've contacted Nick for an interview to get him. He has done some amazing investigative work. There's a lot of stuff on Reddit that has been done as well that we're going to highlight tonight. And this individual is somebody that I want to give a lot of credit to. And this will kind of give you a good idea, Bird, about what the subject is and what the story is, and then we'll discuss it after that.
Excellent. Excellent.
Hey guys,
well, I
just
would
wanted
say,
to come on here before I started the video.
Oops, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, if you could do me a favor, just because in order to keep connection, I have to have my phone inside. However, my conversations are outside. So if you can mute me on and off, that would help me out a lot.
Sure. That's the first person ever asking me to voluntarily mute them. I've never had that before. All right, here we go.
First time for everything.
So to give you a quick announcement, in my last video, I let you guys know that I had a big conspiracy theory video on the way. That is still happening, but then I heard about this topic. Something about the whole situation we're going to be talking about today is really just, it's terrifying to me. And unfortunately, I think it's something that has to be addressed soon before it's too late. YouTube can be a pretty terrifying place. With over 1,000 days worth of content being posted every single hour, it is impossible to fully monitor everything on the site. And for this reason, dark and disturbing content often falls through the cracks, unseen from the public eye. And for over a year, this was the case for the channel we're discussing today. That was until just a few days ago, when people started to take notice. On February 17th of 2020, a message was posted to the subreddit Deep Into YouTube. The post simply read, "I'm worried about these two narrators who act like this in every video." This was accompanied by a link to a video posted on July 27th of 2019 by a YouTube channel called Court K. The video was entitled Human Heart Visualization, Understanding Heart Failure. Here is a brief excerpt from the video.
Hello, my name is Court, and today I'm going to talk about the cardiovascular system. You might have heard of exploratory abdominal surgery, when something's wrong in a person's abdomen, but the doctor's not sure why or what it is, so they cut open the abdomen and do a surgery to find out what's wrong. That's why we often give them a diuretic to help them get rid of excess water. It will also help them breathe better.
Now, just initially watching that video, one glaring detail sticks out, and that is the fact that these two women featured within it appear unwell. For starters, they both seem to be having major difficulty speaking.
Many diseases will accelerate the declining.
Their words are slurred, rushed, and are said in a way that makes them sound as if maybe they're scared or just kind of out of it. And along with this, neither of them really look into the camera once, and are instead seen staring off camera very obviously at a script. And this is potentially showing us that these girls really aren't experts in this field and are instead reading off something that someone else wrote for them. I mean, you really don't get the sense that they know the subject well, as they are 100% dependent on that script. And not to mention the fact that they appear totally disinterested in the topic, and the fact that both of them just seem kind of spaced out. Like physically they're there, but mentally they are worlds away, almost as if they were using drugs or being drugged. One video in, and it's clear that something strange is going on here. Like, I don't know about you, but something about this video gave me incredibly bad vibes upon first watching it. And as I explored more of the content on the Court K channel, things only became stranger. After watching bits of pieces of the channel's videos, there appears to be three main presenters. Janessa, who was only shown a few times, Grace, who is more prevalent, and Court, who the channel is named after, all of whom display the same strange on-camera behaviors throughout each of the videos. None seem even close to comfortable, and it appears that they really don't want to be there filming these videos. Which this is strange, like especially for Court. Like, this is supposed to be her channel, and yet it's almost as if she's forcing herself to make these videos, or maybe someone else is forcing her. Now, the strange behavior aside, the actual content of these videos is very off as well. Their uploads are all over the place, as they range from topics from medical lessons to the anatomy of the universe, all the way to video editing tutorials. And what is displayed in each of these types of videos is that, again, These girls are no experts in these fields. It's almost as if they were hired to read these scripts, which actually makes no sense considering their obvious flaws as presenters. And what is also off-putting about this channel is its thumbnails. I mean, just take a look at a few of these and tell me that they aren't some of the most random that you've seen. Like in one of these videos, Court talks about how Grace almost died due to a bacterial infection, and how her friend actually did die from this same supposed type of infection. And with a video this sad, you would expect a more mundane thumbnail. Except this is the photo they used. Like, that's totally weird, right? And they include a lot more weird images within their videos that seemingly don't fit at all. They're just so random and they really don't sit well with me. So I think that we can all agree that at a glance, something not quite right is going on here. And the more you analyze the footage, the more disturbing it gets. I'm going to play you a part of one of their videos now and let you notice the next detail for yourself.
And about a month ago, I developed an infection that was about a 2-inch hole in my leg. And since then, I've been healing it at home self-sufficiently, and it's about shrunk a 1/2 inch.
So yeah, this is terrifying.
At T-Mobile, we believe you should get more.
That's
why we merged with Sprint. Now, it's about to get.
Not only does she have a strange hole in her leg that was apparently caused by a spider bite, but all over Court's body are bruises, all up her arms and all down her legs. And that's no natural amount of bruising. Like, that is definitely consistent with potential physical abuse or maybe drug abuse, which is why I really thought the situation is so dire. And Court isn't the only one with physical injuries. Some bruises can also be seen on Janessa's arms, along with the word bitch, which appears to almost be drawn with a marker. But rather than physical abuse, the bruises seen on her arm are more consistent with heroin use, which actually causes bruising in that very area when you miss the vein. But out of each of the girls, Grace seems to have the worst of the injuries. These images were included in a video that showed the effects of a supposed bacterial infection in Grace's arms that was caused by, yet again, another spider bite. The only issue with that is she claimed that it was a brown recluse spider that bit her, which are not found on the West Coast where the girls supposedly live. Plus, this type of injury doesn't even seem consistent with an infection caused by a spider in the first place. And many are convinced that Grace is simply lying about the origin of her wound. Now here's where things get even more dark. All of these girls show clear and obvious signs of drug abuse, not just from their actions and the way that they speak, but from their injuries as well. I mean, Court's hole in her leg is consistent with sepsis, which is caused by drug abuse. Janessa's arms clearly have marks that she shot up heroin, meth, or something along those lines. And as for the spider bite excuse that Grace used for her arm, well, blaming spider bites for physical signs of heroin and meth use is the #1 excuse almost all of the time. Like, this is a well-known thing with drug addicts at this point. So the fact that both Court and Grace use this as an excuse for their injuries really says something, especially because, yet again, the spiders they claim bit them aren't even found where they live. So what we have here are 3 girls who seem to be dealing with substance abuse. The signs are there, in their actions, their words, and on their bodies. And they all look sickly and just not well. So what is with these videos? Well, it's being theorized that these girls are being forced by someone to film these videos. This is why they seemingly know nothing about the actual content. It explains the rapid cutting and the script reading, and also why they very obviously have no interest in anything they're talking about, not to mention why they look so miserable. I mean, I really just get prisoner vibes when I see these girls. But who would force these girls to make such strange videos? And maybe more concerning, why? Well, this is when the situation, yet again, takes another dark and twisted turn.
Going to Bayside is going to change our lives. That is the hottest man I've ever seen.
And the school is wild.
Way to go, bud. Way to go. Way to go.
So searching to find out who is behind the camera, our first clue is the titles of some of the earlier videos. As you can
Trying.
see, some are in Chinese.
Shit comes in
And actually,
quick.
quite a few of them are dubbed over in Chinese as well.
And today, I'm going to show you a few features on the Apple products.
今天我给大家介绍一下
And in one of the creepier videos, Court seems to be reading off a script about Chinese politics.
In loving memory of Mr. Zhao Zongxiang. I know he was the voice of China for many, many years, and also a celebrity and a billionaire.
Like, it's obviously forced, and it just comes across that she's, again, like a prisoner being told to say this stuff. Like, maybe she really is invested, but you tell me, like, does this sound genuine to you? So I think obviously whoever is running this account is either Chinese or is involved in Chinese politics or something along those lines. Like, it became instantly clear to me that there is some kind of tie there. And this is something that can actually be all but proven by examining the email address linked with the YouTube channel. When you type the email address into Google, one of the first results is a medical report published by someone named Dr. Yan Yarn. And when you look his name
I
up,
got the
you
idea from
discover
Jess,
that
so I
he
want to try to
also
get
goes
her
by
up.
the name Edwin Zong, who is a Chinese doctor that lives in Lancaster, California. So basically what I'm saying is this account is most likely run by this Dr. Edwin Zong, not by Court K and not by any of the other girls featured on this channel. So one would assume that he's the one who was writing these scripts for these girls and potentially the one forcing them to film. Now there's something so weird about all of this. Guess what Dr. Zong specializes in? Addiction medicine. So people go to him in order to help with their addictions, which is likely how he met these 3 girls featured in this video. But this is concerning because it is very obvious that these girls are still using. Like, I hate to jump to that conclusion, but I don't see how I could view this in any other way. They really seem like they're still on drugs, or at least they were at the times that they filmed. So here's the theory. Could Zong be having his patients or former patients film these videos for him in exchange for drugs? Think about it. Zong could easily be shoveling them drugs through his practice and feeding their addictions, and in turn basically making them slaves to him. I mean, I know that sounds extreme, but it appears that these videos are being done against their will, and drug addicts will oftentimes do anything they can to obtain their drugs and to avoid withdrawal. Like, addiction is really that powerful, and Dr. Zong could really be
I'm sorry, this is a really
his
like
advantage
important,
to
serious
control these
subject.
girls. But where's
So I
the proof?
don't know
Well,
if
the
you want to
story
be
gets
on
even
for it or
more
not. I love you.
complicated from here, as there is one more piece to an already dark puzzle.
I think she's here. I'm
Now, I
not
believe
sure.
as we speak, Dr. Zong owns a private practice in Bakersfield, California. And when he gets prescriptions for people, they are obtained through the pharmacy at their local Walgreens. This is important because it was revealed by a pharmacist working at that Walgreens that Zong's prescriptions were suspicious, as staffers noticed odd quantities of pills prescribed, 43 to 46, he says. Usually doctors call for 30 or 60 to match a daily dose for a 30-day month. So the fact that he was over-prescribing medications that these girls are potentially addicted to is crazy and terrifying, and is such a red flag in all of this. And I view this as legitimate evidence that Dr. Zong could be controlling these women by holding these drugs over their heads. Now in 2017, something strange happened at Zong's addiction help practice, because on April 25th of that year, Dr. Edwin Zong shot and killed a man within the very building that his business was ran. That day, 33-year-old David Lang entered the building and started yelling and swearing at Dr. Zong in his office. He then leaped over the table and started punching Zong. A patient came running in and yelled, "Hey," at Lang. This distracted Lang for just long enough for Dr. Zong to pull a gun from his drawer and to fire 3 shots at the irate man, killing him instantly. It was determined that Zong was using self-defense, and he was interviewed a day after by a local news station. He was still wearing the bloody clothes from the day before.
And he was so fast. I didn't even see like his face or his hand. All I know is I feel like my head could get a hit.
As far as I'm concerned, it was never really specified what Lang had been yelling about and what provoked him to attack Dr. Zong. There's a plausible theory out there. If all is to be believed in the story so far, then who is to say that Zong wasn't screwing with this man's recovery efforts. Maybe he was holding drugs over Lang's head too, was trying to bribe him or force him to do something. And maybe Lang snapped. Either way, it just seems too convenient that something along these lines happened to such a seemingly sketchy guy. And even the fact that he was wearing his bloody clothes the day after the shooting, I don't know, it just appears so disingenuous. Not even to mention why he had a gun in his drawer in the first place. And for now, that's all we know. 3 women likely suffering from the effects of drug addiction, potentially being controlled by someone who can provide a means of obtaining those drugs, and all to push these strange videos and his strange medical beliefs. Dr. Zong's views on medicine are different, and they aren't something that I really wanted to get into in this video. But I think having these girls portray his information for him means that he can push his theories hard without having any real blowback. I mean, I'm not really sure, but it's certainly a motive for him to force these girls to film for him, as strange as it is. Now, whether all this is true or not can't really be said for now. After all, this case is literally a day old at the time that I'm writing the script, so lots can come forward from here. But I certainly don't want you guys to go over to this channel and harass these girls or try and contact Dr. Zong, because for all we know, this could be a misunderstanding or something along those lines. But from my point of view, I've seen a lot of fictional horror stories and fake accounts designed to scare people like this, but something about this channel seems very real, and we have to keep investigating and trying to discover the truth, because something genuinely sinister may be happening.
Oh, ad's coming. I see it now. I see a spotlight. I see the timer. Oh, there you go. Woof. All right, Bird, what's your thoughts on that?
I'm thinking that the dude's onto it. I think that it's pretty condemning.
There's a lot to digest there.
I mean, it's pretty sick and twisted, dude. Seeing the amount of bruising and the wounds on those girls, drug use or no drug use. Disgusting.
So we're gonna go to Reddit. Reddit has done a lot of coverage on this. And we're going to get Reddit's opinion. I'm worried about these 2 narrators who act like this in every video. And then Asian, I'm going to get your thoughts on this. This essentially is Reddit. This is an individual who I've been clean for over 10 years, but did heroin for about 12 years. These girls are shooting up. Looks like meth by the number of obvious injection sites, and definitely some heroin too. Again, this is all opinion. This is not fact. These are people posting on Reddit. I want to stress that now. But it essentially says that the treatment is exactly the same way. Wait a minute, I want to get the whole sentence. When an addict goes to the hospital doctor or talks to the regular people about injections or abscesses, a spider bite is often the go-to story given. Addicts often wait until the problem is really bad before seeking help. It's nearly impossible to tell the difference between spider bite and injection site infection at that point, and the treatment is exactly the same anyways. I'm sure the doctors are more worried about saving a person than arguing about the cause. A friend of theirs or one of them had a hair-brain idea to make some sort of off with YouTube views, had some minor editing equipment and knowledge, and this is the result. They were probably whacked out, been up for days at a time, and thought they were really onto something here and making the next YouTube smash hit. That's one of the other sides from a lot of people on Reddit, Asian. I want to get your thoughts on this.
The first word I'm going to use is it's creepy. If I had hair on my back, they'd be standing up right now. I'm not sure I can make up an opinion or thoughts on this yet other than what I've seen on the video.
What's your thoughts on that video?
I'm just shaking my head side to side.
Do you think there's more?
This thing is way deeper than I think it's on the surface. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this has been over the past year. This was the talk of Reddit for a while, talk of YouTube. A lot of conspiracy theories on what could be wrong. A lot of conspiracy theories on what's going on, what it could be. This is what it looks like. This is what it is. This is something that, I agree with Jess when she told me that this definitely deserves a lot more of a spotlight. And the credit to her for like giving me this idea, and hopefully I'm making her happy and proud doing it, because this is a story that definitely needs some shine and needs some light. It needs more people talking about it and more people aware, like as we're doing right now.
On the surface, it seems pretty straightforward.
Right.
But again, you just get that feeling, you get the hair standing up.
You do. When you look at the registry, they already showed it earlier, but I do want to show, it really goes to the conspiracy theory of what really happened to that person who got shot. Was it self-defense? Was he trying to rescue a girlfriend of his? What happened?
My question is do all those girls live together in the same house, and is it his house?
It is a treatment rehab center, yes.
Mm-hmm.
This was an LA Times story done in 2017 about the murder. A battered doctor slain patient, famous questions for answers. I don't know, it was a mid-opioid crisis. It raises a lot of questions on what really happened that day with the shooting, etc. I think it does.
Yeah, was that guy related? Was that guy related to one of those girls, or a girl
not one of those girls? Not one of those girls, but was a boyfriend to one of a former patient.
Oh, jeez.
Registered rehab, yes, Aussie registered rehab. So they have changed their channel name to what this is now. Like Medicine from Milky Way Galaxy is the new name of their channel. It's an active channel. It's being plugged it's being plugged on the Streamlabs. Sorry. And this is it. It's taken a little bit of a turn, but we're still looking at things from 9 months ago. I'm going to play one of the videos and kind of, which one should I play? Let's play this one. Human heart visualization.
Abdominal surgery. When something's wrong in a person's abdomen, but the doctors aren't sure why or what it is, so they cut open the abdomen, and that's not the case for the heart, because the heart simply won't allow a doctor to do any exploratory surgery on it. Because the heart acts like a pump that delivers oxygen to your brain, if anything happens to it, then the oxygen to your brain will be cut off and death is imminent. Therefore, the doctor has to know exactly what the problem in the heart is before they cut it open. This is the challenge. You have to know the structure of the rooms without actually entering them. One way doctors are able to do that is an ultrasound, also known as an echocardiogram. There are 3 common ways to do ultrasounds. The first way is parasternal long axis. The second way is short axis. And the third way is apical. You might be familiar with the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words, meaning one picture can tell many stories if you know how to read it. The same goes for an ultrasound. You have to know your anatomy.
Now, is it
also have
obvious to
be able
you guys on panel that there's a script being read?
Yes.
There's a
To me.
script.
Yes.
There's a script being read. More meets the eye. Looking at body posture, like demeanor, etc. This is different, and you kind of get the feeling that something's wrong here. No. Anyone? So not everyone talk at once now.
Nice landmark.
Sorry, got Asian.
Yeah, this is strange, bro.
Yeah, this is.
It's a little eerie.
Yeah, that's the first
is
thing
the
I
word.
thought of.
Yeah,
I texted Jess. I says I'm not going to sleep now after watching this stuff, because this is. I think it's important to educate people on what's on the internet. We focus ourselves on our little bubble we are of the bad that's on the internet and in this genre that we're in. But YouTube is such a huge community, Asian, that there's so much more, that endless possibilities that meet the eyes of channels like these that raise a lot of questions, raise a lot of concerns.
Was there a conclusion to this thing or no?
We are working on it. The YouTube channel is still active. It hasn't put out any content recently, and it kind of leaves up to the questions of what really happened between everything. So it's still an ongoing conspiracy theory. There's been so many conspiracy theories that I'm going to get to on what's going on. We just read one already, and we're going to like touch into a little bit more as well.
Let's do it.
All right, let's watch a few more of these videos.
You can picture a human adult heart as a living quarters that has 4 rooms in it. This is the left side, and this is the right side. The left side is divided by
Now, does anyone think this is like a troll that this challenge is doing? Is there the possibility of nothing being wrong?
No.
No.
So there's absolutely something going on.
I mean, dude. So I mean, look at this chick, dude. She's ultimately like say she's reading a script. Okay, so be it. Okay, the Jones that she's got going on right now while she's doing it, not really the best look. And for her to look like she's somewhat intimidated, really not a good look. And the fact that this guy is like silently kind of doing this behind the scenes, or at least it appears that he may be the man behind the camera and pushing these narratives or agendas on screen, I would say it seems to be a little bit of a control thing. You know, what else is he doing with these girls? You know, or is he sex trafficking? You know, former junkies. Probably be pretty easy to do, especially if you're writing scripts. You know, for drugs that they're addicted to.
That's what I was thinking. I look at these 3 girls and I say to myself, why them?
Easy targets, right? Like when someone's easily manipulated based on their inability to step away from addiction, it would be really easy to control their every action. He get whatever he wants out of them. All he has to do is cut that next script.
Sancho, CFW 1034 is the timestamp. Could you just highlight that real quick, please?
Yes, give me one second. I got 10th man giving me his email in the chat when I already have it, or in the comment section. 1034, look at what she does with the pen when she's not pointing at the chart.
Like I said, eerie. I didn't even notice that.
So we're going to look at another video from another one of these girls and get people's thoughts on it. Stomach and GI bleeding is the topic of this video. These videos have a lot of views because of this controversy. Little graphic, by the way, people.
Hi, my name is Grace and I'm from California. Today I'm going to talk about stomach problems and bleeding. One thing that really bothers people about their stomach is when they have a peptic ulcer. That's because the stomach and the GI tract often hosts a bunch of chemicals and enzymes that help us break down our food, but sometimes they can also hurt us. Our stomach has a mucus barrier that helps to protect it from gastric acid. When the barrier is broken down by erosion of the acid, then you have a problem. Hi, my name is Courtney. If you are very tough, your stomach is very tough, and you don't get any stomach pains, then you're very lucky. For most of us, one way or another, we will experience a stomach problem. If your stomach hurts, your life sucks. Up to 60% of people that experience stomach pain, their doctors can't pinpoint the problem. In the past, medicine was more or less like gambling or throwing a dice.
Sancho, can you hear me?
And you don't know exactly
I can hear you,
if
Murph.
it works or if it doesn't work.
I just like to say the people that are talking, they're actual addicts.
Glorify.
Okay, one more time, Murph.
I like to say these females that are talking are actual addicts that are trying to express themselves. All right. Go ahead.
It may make you feel good about the theories, but that's not mechanic. Modern medicine is all about mechanics. It is called evidence-based. The stuff I talk about here is 100% variable by anyone, any place,
anytime, and I welcome you to do so.
Yeah, she's dope the fuck up. Look at her now. She's going downhill, bro. Like started off strong and just slowly dwindled.
GI tract.
Jeez.
I like to put my 2 cents in when this is over with, Sancho.
Now you look at human disease embryo stage. Doesn't it look strikingly similar to a jellyfish? There are 2 valuable lessons we can take from a jellyfish. Their GI tract is always hydrated and always moving.
So, all right, let's get everyone's thoughts on that. Go ahead.
I don't get it, dude.
Abdominal surgery.
I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like he's trying to draw he's trying to draw weird conclusions, like eating in motion or eating still, related to your cardiovascular. I mean, I'm not really catching up with where he's going with all this.
Yeah, that I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
I don't.
It just seems to be drawn, and maybe it's just because the girls are so doped up that they're not explaining it the way that he wrote it. You know?
Exactly. You're right.
Yeah, but I take a half step back from that. I agree with both of you. I take a half step back even further, and I say to myself, all right, so, if it fits the narrative, he's drugging them up, giving them what they want, and then using them. But the question is, why them? Like, to do this type of content doesn't seem very creditable.
Well, the channel changed its name and hasn't been updated in 8 months. These were the last, the videos that were made on this. It went from Court K. As you can see by the viewership, 28,000, 13,000, 5,000. The videos we just showed that were in question, they have a lot of views. Like 37,000 views. And it's something that's been the talk of like YouTube and talk of Reddit for a little bit. But it shows that this channel, and the interesting thing about this channel is it definitely took a little bit of a turn from when it first started to now. And that's where a lot of the questions and it seems like once she entered this facility with her roommates, etc., that's when this became like what it is now. This is another. Let me fast forward it to where we can see them on it. There we go.
It's a universal carrier for all life that depends on oxygen.
You see the eyeballs moving?
Including us.
Hold on. Let's get back to
Killer
you see how the eyeballs
in American society today. Most ferocious killer because it cuts off the blood supply to the brain.
Yes, Sancho.
If you're ever sick and need oxygen, you need to understand that oxygen is a highly reactive chemical. Oxygen is highly reactive. It's always ready to bind to something else. The oxygen gas is present in our atmosphere. That is the reason planet.
See how the editing and the cut frames? It's all just it's weird, guys. It's weird. It's.
I'd like to speak on this when you're through.
Let me read one Reddit article, and then I'm going to let you guys take the floor.
Okay.
Is that cool? All right. This is a big thing on that's on Reddit. 9 months ago. It is essential. Let me try to zoom in a little bit. Try to zoom in. See if that's a little better for you guys. Disgrace doctor uses drug-addicted women to present medical info on his YouTube channel. Obviously, these fine young women are neither. They're not like a. Can anyone else read this for me? Any volunteers? My reading.
I'm trying to see it.
Can you see it good, Asian?
Not really, but I'll try.
I zoomed in on it.
I'll go full screen.
All right, try it if you can. I already put it on like the full screen.
Obviously, these fine young women are neither doctors nor particularly enthusiastic about medicine. They appear drugged, depressed, and have several open wounds. The quick cuts and stilted speech also imply that they don't understand what they're saying and are being coached. Every comment on these videos either misses the point of the comment it's responding to or gives a copy pasted answer that doesn't answer anything. An email address associated with the account links to this article written by Dr. Yarn. Dr. Yarn apparently also goes by Dr. Edwin Zong. Edwin Zong killed a man in self-defense who apparently attempted to rob his clinic, where Zong provides suboxone, what is that? Suboxone
Suboxone.
and
Suboxone.
thank you, Murph, and other drugs in the Bakersfield, California area. Dr. Zong chose to do this interview about the shooting while still wearing his bloody clothes. There is also public photo of him on FB posted by 23 ABC Bakersfield in the same bloody clothes that appears to show a Christmas stocking in the background with Courtney's name and childhood photos on it. Damn.
Yeah, this is deep.
One of three girls in the YouTube videos, the one with two Chinese symbols on her shoulders with a huge gaping wound on her thigh.
Yeah, and this is a review on one of the channels had a this guy's a crook. Go to him if you want to stay addicted. He's a worthless person motivated by greed. I'm ashamed to say I was a former patient of this so-called MD who will destroy your life. Do yourself a favor, stay away. The conclusion that this poster says on Reddit, this doctor, in an effort to make his videos more visually appealing by using younger women, has offered these girls drugs in exchange for filming and editing these videos for him. That is one of the theories we're having right now. There was a little bit of an exchange between the two. Now, if we go back to Grace McBride, that's another thing I really want to stress on. I don't even believe he does that. He has another website, Habitat of Medicine. He lists Grace McBride as the chief editor about halfway down the page. That's the name of one of the three girls on his channel. That's the one with the massive arm gash with the sepsis. At the woman at the desk, Court K. Also, the name of the YouTube channel is listed as the president of Habitat Medicine. Murph, your thoughts? Murph, you there? Where'd Murph go? Murph?
Is he still on panel? Oh, he's off. Oh, there he is.
He's on mute. My Murph? Marvelous Murph? No? All right, I think we lost Murph. All right, we lost Bird and the Murph. Sorry, my screen was being shared.
Yeah, why do they have gaping wounds?
Well, that's one of the biggest questions is why do they have the gaping wounds?
Maybe they're getting physically abused, or they're saying it's from the drugs.
They think it's from. There's a lot of conspiracy on where it's from. Could it be the injection sites? Could it be the fact that it's abuse? There's a lot of rumors out there.
They even mentioned spiders.
Yes.
What the F is this, Sancho?
That's one of the things we...
And you're saying this originated back in 2017 to current time?
Well, Jess was the one who made me aware of it recently. No, Anarchic, you wouldn't be blocked. I don't know why you would think that. This has been going on since 8 months ago when this channel disappeared and started putting these, the videos out. Ever since the thing took a turn like it did, people were kind of like really concerned about the well-being of these, the fact that it's a rehab and a substance abuse place, and seeing these women doing all these videos, and it really made people question. This is like 1.5 to 2 years ago. I mean, this channel really didn't take a turn, and this is the interesting part about this channel is you should be blocked, someone said. This channel really didn't take an interesting turn. Let's go back to the medicine from Milky Way galaxy. This is one of the videos from 2 months ago. I mean, this has been talked about for a little bit. I mean, as you can see from this video with the Japanese with the subtitles, this has been something that's been discussed about because you can see with the background and everything. 2 years ago was when this channel really started, but it looks to me like the physical appearance of Grace and others kind of took a little bit of a turn below that.
You know what's interesting too is that the titles, it's in kanji character, Mandarin Chinese, but then the ones below that are all in English. I don't know if that's a factor, but an observation nevertheless. So they're trying to cater to Chinese people, basically.
Well, that's because what the doctor is about it.
This is new to me. I've never seen this until tonight.
Well, that's it's new to a lot of people. It's all about raising awareness and kind of educating people on, hey, you know, this channel is an active channel.
It's the pump of the system.
Here we go. Here's another video.
Killer in Americans today. When a heart attack happens, the oxygen supply to the heart stops. Heart loses fuel, which is oxygen. It will stop pumping blood to the brain. After 45 seconds of no oxygen supply, you will become confused. After no oxygen supply for 3 to 5 minutes, your brain becomes dead.
There are many reasons for chest pain, but the threshold to suspect a heart attack should be kept low. You should not think that a heart attack is an extraordinary claim so that you need extraordinary evidence to prove it. Most doctors will keep their suspicion threshold low. The first test the doctor will do is an EKG and a blood test, and they run a panel of tests to rule out or rule in a heart attack.
Of heart attack is hypoxic attack.
Life is where blood flows. When the blood supply stops, there is a problem.
Yes, they're still alive. But there's been a hiatus. You know, they haven't uploaded anything, Murph, for 8 months now. 8 months. There's been nothing on the channel. There was a name change, and that was it. You know, there's been nothing on there for 8 months.
Yeah, I have nothing to say. Like I said,
there it is.
After this is over with, I'd be happy to answer anybody's questions because I've been down this road, and I will be open 100%.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Asian, any thoughts? Did we lose Asian? Are we losing everybody? Press 1 in the chat if you guys don't hear me.
I'm here. I can hear you.
Oh, Jesus, you guys scared me.
I can hear you.
You guys scared me there.
I just went on mute because I'm doing something.
Mm-hmm. What happened to Bert? I'm losing everybody. I think we're having some technical issues with Asian. But this is kind of part 1 of a lot of parts. We're going to delve into this more. I just wanted to, this is a lot of information. Thank you guys in the chat for letting me hear it. This is a lot of information that I don't want to throw on you guys all at once. I need to gather more info, gather more, parts to it, and kind of break down the conspiracy theories. The Holtzclaw series, we did that as well. There's so much to discuss that our agent's coming right back up. there's so much. See, I don't know what's better than one Asian besides two Asians. This is great. The happiest man alive looking at two of you.
Jeez, that's a pretty cool trick, isn't it?
Oh, man.
All right, get rid of the fucking one.
Problem is, I don't even know how I did that.
It's the threesome I've never had. This is great.
You got to get rid of one of you.
Yeah, get rid of the one that's muted right now. Let's boot that.
There you go.
All right, War Eagle, you there?
We can't have two good-looking guys up here.
Oh, too many. Now, can I kick you and not have your account linked to it and get kicked?
You got me?
Hold on. Asian will be removed from the studio. Okay, good. I removed it. War Eagle, what's your thoughts on part 1 of this story?
I think there's something going on with these girls, not just drugs, but several things.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna find out that with him shooting that guy and everything, he's deep into something.
What do you think should be done?
It needs to be investigated by the police, FBI, whatever it takes.
I agree.
I agree too.
Name of the channel. We've been plugging the channel name, I believe, Aussie, in the chat every 5 minutes. So if you want to scroll up, it's called the Court K channel. It hasn't been active for 8 months. I'm going to do a part 2 with this probably next week or so. To kind of give a little bit more updates. Let's kind of get little thoughts on the chat. Aussie Angel said earlier, it's a money-making operation. Texas bartender states, this is really creepy and so sad this happens on YouTube. Like that dude that killed his girl on stream, just nuts.
Yeah.
Josh wants to know what's wrong with our reading of scripts. Jessica S. is definitely concerning. And
everybody has legitimate questions.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
Absolutely. Texas bartender, she's a junkie and her supplier is a doc, and that's the best case. Cat has a wrench everywhere. She's a great mod. Aussie Angel, I know many junkies who have tattoos on big veins to hide needle of misses. Lots of thoughts in the chat, lots to digest. I know Golden Eyes is live and Michael Malloy, and I didn't want to go super long because I wanted to give them some love because I did go live earlier.
Yeah.
I probably will go live tomorrow during the day and do a twofer again, a day and a night panel. I know everybody has missed Sancho. I am hoping to jump on Glenn Lambright's show tomorrow and be interviewed by him since I interviewed him and he's been wanting to interview me.
Yeah.
That was one of the things on my bucket list to get across. And I think, it's all about Asian. We talked about this, being a better person every day and doing better than yesterday.
Most definitely. Yeah. And Sancho, when you do part 2, please hit me up because I want to be a part of it.
Yep.
And I'd like to answer questions from people in the chat and you guys, because I've been down this road and what I seen tonight, I haven't been interviewed like that, but I can answer questions that people may have from my experience.
Right. I definitely found it important to shine a little bit of a light on this and get this community aware of this story.
Yeah.
And then we're going to dig deeper into it. We're going to dig deeper into the operation that this individual was running. We're going to do what we can to try to get some sort of an interview with this doctor and, get an update on these women as well and see where they're at today. We're going to cover all that stuff on part 2.
Wow.
We might do part 2 and 3.
Sancho, that's pretty cool stuff, my guy.
Yeah, we're
cool,
trying.
man.
We're trying. We're absolutely trying. So
I got the goosebumps already.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who've been investigating this. Like Jess is one of them that has done a lot of investigating over the while, and I think it was great that you made me aware of it, and I thank her for doing so. I'm going to plug Michael Malloy's channel, and I'm going to plug Golden Eyes' channel. So I'm going to give you guys an option of where you want to go because I love them both, and I don't want to choose. Ladies' Night's going on with Golden Eyes, and Michael Malloy is probably doing Let's Have Our Balls Out and Drink a Beer night. So That's the option you guys have. So, anyone have any closing thoughts? Murph, War Eagle, then Agent.
I'd like to just say to the chat and to you guys, I've been clean a little over 20 years, and
great job.
But I do have some great stories, and any questions you have, if I can answer them, I will. And this part on Sancho's part 2 tomorrow. So everybody have a great night.
War Eagle.
I appreciate you showing that. I think it may have something to do with human trafficking.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy theories with the Dr. Yarn. I mean, he goes by the multiple other names like Edwin Zong. The mind manipulation story of individuals that are at a weak point is going to be the focus of part 2 and 3. We're going to shine a better, like a bigger light on this doctor and to see if he's a monster mind manipulator, because what we're seeing from these women is they're the victims here and they're being manipulated and being mind controlled by this individual. I fully believe.
Yep. You could see it. You could see it the way they were acting. You could see it.
War Eagle, your thoughts on that?
It was a good show.
I'm
looking forward to the rest of it.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys liked it. Everybody, when you see Jess H, make sure you tell her great job on this, because she was the one who made me aware of it. Asian, what's your what's your closing thoughts?
Mr. Sancho, a hell of a way to come back. Welcome back, my guy.
Thank you. Everybody, yep.
Fascinating content. And if I can try to continue my YouTube friend's legacy, Mr. NJ Diver, Reality Bites.
All right.